Congratulations, we have seen the glory of God. Hey Sissy, good morning. I'm so happy that you're watching this video. That you're watching this video means that you're in a group of women that are ready to, of single moms that are ready to take your financial game upward. And just like you, I was where you are right now, and I really needed somebody to hold up my hands. And I wish I had that person that was a single mom that was holding my hands. And since I've gotten some level of results, I decided that I was going to, show you how it is. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I was able to save my first 1 million naira. When I saved that money, I did a little victory dance. I was so happy because for me, 1 million naira was a big deal for me, and I've never ever saved 500k, even 200k that I don't need. I never saved. So when I was able to save that, I was so happy. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what are the things I did and how was I able to save my first 1 million naira. In my book, A Single Mom's Journey to Financial Freedom, I talked about the baby steps, and one of the baby steps I talked about was to save 1 million naira first. And so I'm going to talk about how did I get my 1 million naira saved. And if you're like me, when my marriage ended, I was left with nothing and with children to cater for, and nobody was willing to pay the bills. You call and you're begging them to pay their own children's school fees. Well, let's not go there. We're not going there. So how was I able to save that? And I didn't have any money, and I was coming from a place of poverty. One day I'm going to talk about how poor I was, but I'm just going to give you a clip of how poor I was. I was so poor that there was a time that I could not afford gas fees. I could not afford to pay for my gas, and gas had finished at the point we were using charcoal, and still there was a time I could not buy charcoal to even cook. And then we started picking woods here and there to form firewood. We could not even buy firewood, so we were just cutting things. It was just horrible. We didn't have food. Things were so tough for us, and things were so difficult for us. And I looked at myself and I said, Cousin, if you are absolutely responsible, you're absolutely responsible for your financial outcome of both you and your children. And that statement was the turning point in my life. That statement was a turning point in my life. I decided to be responsible, to take the bull by the horn. So number one thing that helped me to save 1 million naira was I started hating poverty, and I had a plan, and I was dedicated to doing all the things that was said in the book Richest Man in Babylon, and both the things that were said in the Bible too. So I merged those two books. Those were my first primary books: the Bible, the Word of God, the basics on finances, trusting God that is the God that engraces us for wealth, and looking at the Richest Man in Babylon and actually doing the things in those books. And I said I was going to commit to doing this thing, and let it be that I did it and it didn't work, and I did it and it didn't, it didn't give me results. And one of the things I learned in that book was that when we treat money well, the goddess of money will keep bringing more money. And like I always say, that when you treat money well, money will bring his brother. When you treat the brother well, he will bring his auntie, he will bring his cousin, then he will bring his whole clan. So how was I able to save 1 million naira from not having anything at all? It took a lot of discipline. I saved and I paid my tithe as if my whole life depended on it. I saved and paid tithe as if my whole life depended on it. There were times that I could not even feed, and my mom would have to send me money to buy egg because there was no food and all that. Do you know that I would save and pay tithe from the money that my mom gave me for egg? I was saving 200 naira, 500 naira, I was saving. Both when she would send me money to buy just one rubber, that's 75 liters oil, palm oil or vegetable oil, because she was really helpful. My mom was so helpful to me. And I will still save from that money, and I'll buy half bottle or half crate of and I'll pay my tithe from it. I did it as if my whole life depended on it, and I started saving. By January, I had just saved only 50,000 naira, right? And I continued, I kept on it, and I decided I was going to eat below what I was earning. And whatsoever that money could buy, that was what we were eating. It was as serious as that. I saved as if my whole life depended on it, and I started eating just 70% of my earnings, and then after a while I started eating 60% of my earnings, and right now I eat only 40% of the monies that I make. The remaining one I give back to the society. I sow it back as seed and all that, while I still keep up my saving. And I continued at it little by little. Now if you're in that group, I've shown you my progress in my finances, and how there was a time at the end of the month I had 50,000, and then I had 200,000, and it just came little by little. So number one way that I would recommend if you're just starting out saving is that you should be consistent in saving every dime that passes through your hands and every dime that passes through your account. I use CarryWise to save, because for me, when I was using piggy bank to save, once it's in reach 30K or 20,000, I'll go and break the piggy bank, let them collect that their 2.5% they collect for collecting your money before the time. They pay like a fee like that. I'll say, no problem, collect the 2.5%, give me my money, and I'll eat it. So I was not able to fully be disciplined. But when I started using CarryWise, even if your grandmother is dead, whoever is dead, they won't give you the money until the set date. And CarryWise, minimum you can save was 3 months. So it worked for me, and I started doing it, and I started putting money inside that account. And before I would notice, I was able to save my first 1 million naira. My first 1 million naira, and I was so happy. And that's the primary baby steps you should take as a single mom that is looking towards growing your finances. Now, it is not about the saving, it's not about the money at the end of the day. It's about the person that you will become in the process. It's about the woman that you will become in the process, because you will become a much financially wiser woman. You become more prudent with your finances. You will have a new level of behavior towards money, towards spending, and you will have a level of fulfillment in having your own money. And so that was what the first thing I did in doing that, and I kept on it. That thing they say, little drops of water can create an ocean. It's really true, especially in your finances. That was the things I did. I didn't do any magic. And I want to tell you that if you can do it, if I can do it, then you can do it. You cannot afford to keep giving yourself excuses. There were times that things were so expensive, we couldn't even afford to buy yam. I went to the market and I would cry. But inside in that situation, I was still saving. You could live. After watching this video, you can tell yourself all the number of excuses. Things are expensive, the economy is hard, the money I have is not enough, and all that. That is a valid excuse. Or you can tell yourself that the things that Cousin is saying, I am going to put it to work for 6 months. That's what I told myself, that I was going to put it to work in 6 months and see if it will work or not. Now you give yourself 6 months to see if these principles are real or if they work or not. Commit to sending in just 10% for a start. 10% of everything you earn. Save it. You will see the next thing is doors is going to keep opening. Now, another thing I did that helped me towards getting my 1 million naira save is that I started looking for how to expand my business. I treated my business not the way it was before. I treated it better, in a better light. So one of the things you should do is to start treating your business in a better light. Start treating your business in a better light. Don't start looking for ways to expand. Start looking for ways to earn more. Because giving the excuse that what you have is not enough, because the truth is, if the 100% of what you have is not enough, removing 10% is still not enough. So why don't you allow the 10% to work for you? Why don't you allow the 10% to show a commitment? Money is an entrustment, and the God of money must be sure that he can trust you with money before he can put it in your hands. So those are the things I did. Number one, I got tired of poverty. Number two, I stopped making excuses. Number three, I started saving and tithing as if my whole life depended on it. And I started looking for how to improve myself and earn more money. Those are the things I did that helped me to save my first 1 million naira. And that was my baby step. And I did a little dance and I was so happy. It gave me a level of confidence that I could, do it and do more. So I'm looking forward that as you come on board, that you will stop giving excuses as to why you're eating 100% of the money you're earning. You must. If you're not saving, you will be poor forever. There's no two way about it. You must learn financial ethics in order for you to go beyond poverty stage. So that's why it's very important. And one of the key basic financial ethics is saving. The economy will never get better. You have to do things that will put you in that pedestal for you to get better. I believe this video helped you. So that's how I was able to save my first 1 million naira. And I look forward to you saving yours shortly. Thank you.